Us now is Ellicott City resident Callie Harris, who has twice survived the historic flooding in her town. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I mean, the water came in, you were trapped, a firefighter had to help you climb out of your building. Tell us about that.
It was actually just so surreal living through it all again. In 2016, I was able to just walk out my front door with a small bag of toiletries and not even a change of clothes. And this time, the water didn't recede enough for me to go out my front door. So I took a couple of bags and was able to climb out the back on the rooftops and down a ladder with a fireman who helped me. So.
What was going through your mind? I mean, this is the second time that you've run for your life. Did you think, how could this be happening again, or what did you think?
Absolutely, I did. The only thing that was going through my mind as it was starting was that this isn't real. Like, I was in complete shock and I didn't believe it was really happening. And until the building started collapsing and cars were coming down the street, I honestly didn't believe that it was happening again. And once it started, I started freaking out, obviously, and, started packing a bag and planning for what was going to come next and, kind of going down the checklist of things that I should have done last time, but, shouldn't have had to do again. But here I was stuck doing them again.
For people who have never been in that situation, it is very difficult to understand how quickly the water comes. What is the time like in that instant?
It's fast and it's slow. It feels like it's going in slow motion, but it's, things get swept away so quickly, and the way that water takes things down, like it weighs nothing. Cars were just coming down like they were, just toys, and it rose up so fast and started ripping things out so quickly that I didn't, even know if I was actually safe in my apartment, because it's a stone building that I live in, and I'm on the third floor apartment, but the way things were coming down around me, I had no idea if I was safe or not.
And it did eventually collapse, is that what you said?
I'm not sure actually of the status of my building. I don't believe it's collapsed. I think everything is still standing where I live, but everything else is, I know they've assessed everything today and have, lists of places that are safe and places you can't go in. The only things I've looked at are my building where I live and the salon that I work at up the street, which will have access to my salon with, assistance tomorrow.
I want to ask you the question that I think our whole audience is wondering right now as they watch this, which is, will you go back? I mean, it's happened twice.
It's a great question. Honestly, I don't have a good answer for it. After the flood of 2016, we rallied and we came back as a community stronger than ever. And I became close with all my neighbors in a way that we never were before. And we really rallied around each other and brought each other back. And we were almost, back to full capacity, operating like we were before. And then now this happens, we're all just questioning if we're going to go back or not. And, I live on Main Street, I work on Main Street, and my entire life is on Main Street. It is my home, and that's why I went back after 2016, is because it is home. I have built my life for myself here, and I don't want to have to leave, but honestly, experiencing this twice in under 2 years is incredibly traumatic, and I don't have a good answer for if I'm going to come back or not.
I know I read after the first one, you were scared that it was going to happen again or that you'd be alone in the building. And when this happened, were you alone at the time? Was there anyone else around?
No, I live alone. And actually my neighbors just recently moved out. So, all the buildings are connected on Main Street, but the building that I live in, I am totally alone. There's no, nothing underneath it. There's no retail space that's taken up, and I don't have any neighbors, so it was literally just me in my building.
If you decide not to go back, do you have any idea where you would go instead?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm from Denver, so it's always an option to move back out west, but again, like, Ellicott City is my home, and the life that I've built for myself is here, so I don't know. I have no idea.
For people watching out there tonight, you said, it struck me, you said there were things that you were thinking you should have done last time that you didn't do, or what were some of those things?
Grabbing, things for the long term, because the last time things weren't in place as fast as they were this time. We didn't have access to our buildings for a week. So I didn't even have a change of clothes. I had to go to Target and buy toothpaste and a toothbrush and all that kind of thing. So I grabbed all my toiletries, shampoo, conditioner, a change of clothes to last me for about a week. I didn't make the best decisions in my choice of clothes, but, whatever. Yeah, just those kinds of things, shampoo, conditioner, dryer, straightener.
Was that precious time that maybe, you should have run for it when you were collecting your things? Was that one thing you were thinking about, was, do I have time to grab this stuff?
I had nowhere to go, honestly. The fire department came in. They came into my building and told me to stay put because I don't have an exit out the back of my building, and the only way through the front is where the river, what the flood was, where the water was coming through. That's the only way I have out. So the fire department came in, made sure I was safe, and told me to stay put. And so I was stuck. I was helpless. I sat at my window and just had to watch the water ravage everything.
Oh, that must have been so terrifying. We can't even imagine. Thank you so much for sharing your story tonight. You're blessed that you made it out, and we're happy for that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.